Welcome to Discover Barnstable, the official podcast of the town of Barnstable, a podcast where you can meet the people who steward the programs and services for the town of Barnstable that connects us to our quality of life. We invite you to join the conversation as we navigate municipal government and our community pathways to help you discover Barnstable. I'm Paula Hersey, and today I'm joined with our guest, Kelly Howley, Director of Barnstable Adult Community Center, as we explore this week's topic of discussion, opportunities for older adults in the town of Barnstable. Welcome, Kelly, your first day in the studio at Channel 18.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here today.
Right. You get under the lights, you got a microphone, there's all sorts of things happening here. We're glad to have you. Just real quickly, you have been in your position for a number of months now, but for folks who don't know you, I'm going to read a little bit of bio for them, okay? Kelly's love of Cape Cod started at a young age while spending holidays, school vacations, and many weekends visiting with her grandparents in Dennis, and later camping at Sandy Neck with her own family. After raising her children and helping to run the family farm, Kelly has spent the last decade working in the Council of Aging setting. Before becoming the director of the Barnstable Adult Community Center in May of 2022, Kelly spent 10 years working at the Lakeville Council of Aging, 6 of them as director. When not working, she enjoys spending time with her family, traveling, live music, and beach walks with her significant other and their dogs. Camping at Sandy Neck is the best darn thing ever.
Great memories. Love it. Yeah. Can't wait to do it again someday.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that would require time off.
Right.
Well, welcome as Director of Council of Aging, the Barnstable Adult Community Center. We have a lot of new older residents, according to our census. Mm-hmm. So some folks might not be familiar with the facility. We had COVID, so 3+ years of the facility on a closed basis or a not completely programic basis. So let's kind of look at what the Adult Community Center. It's a hub of activity year round. Tell us about the Barnstable Adult Community Center's type of program, events, and activities that are available now.
I will. It's a great facility. I love the building. The staff is top notch, and we have a lot going on there. We have a lot of people we want to bring in that haven't maybe come back since COVID or just don't know what we do. There's kind of something for everyone, and that's our goal. So if we're not doing it, please let us know, because it's definitely something we can put into our programming. We have a lot of different music and dance classes, enrichment. We have our art classes, photography clubs, exercise, Zumba. I mean, the list is, if you look at our Thrive magazine, which I encourage people to do, there's just a great list of all sorts of activities to do there. We also do events throughout the different holidays and seasonal events. So we try to bring some fun into everything that we do, and just love seeing new faces and welcoming the old faces, not old faces, but the prior people that were, it was so vibrant for them. And it's nice to see them coming back in to enjoy it again and giving us their feedback as to what they want to see there, because we're really open to whatever it is that looks like.
Right. Well, one of my absolute favorites is anytime the ukulele club is there is just there's no way you cannot have a smile on your face with that club.
Yeah. Their Christmas concert was wonderful this year. And I mean, everything that they do, they put a lot of different programs on. So not only having, all sorts of classes running through our schedule, but then they bring forth and do those events for us, which is lovely.
All right. And I know the programming, like you said, people having ideas can come in with those. Events, obviously, you do some that are year-round kind of thing. You do special events like the Community Safety Day. That was something new this past year.
That was wonderful. It was great working with you and the team on that. A lot of the councils on aging models in past years have been a health fair, which is still a wonderful thing thing to do, I felt like that was a great combination of all of the different resources in town and offering some of those same things as well as some new things. And, just having the first responders and all of the different players involved, I think was great. I can't wait till next year.
Right. I know. We've got to get planning.
Right.
Older adults need various supports through the years, including nutrition and medical insurance guidance and so many others. I have some aging parents out there. There are a multitude of services in our region dedicated to the older population. It's so hard for folks to kind of go through all of that. A lot of our older residents are really still uncomfortable with the internet and finding things. How can the Barnstable Adult Community Center and Council on Aging help them?
There's a lot of ways. We are sort of a resource hub in that vein, and we just want to help people navigate where it is that they're at and what information they need to find that's relevant to them. We have Shine Counseling, which if you're turning 65 or you're getting close to retirement, we encourage you to make an appointment and come talk to us and see what kinds of things we can help you put into motion or just to have on your radar to be prepared for that. We have resources on all of the things that are available in Hyannis, which is so many. I mean, this region is so lucky to have all the resources that are here, as well as, other state and federal, all the programs. And we've been booking appointments for taxes now. There's just a lot of resources. If you're not sure if we can help you, just call us, because if we can't, we can definitely direct you where you need to be or get you that information. And that's what I love about what we do, because just helping people just takes the pressure off them. With a little bit of information, people just the anxiety can come down and they can just know the path that they need to go, and that's what we're really there for.
Right. It was actually a little anecdote that folks, my husband had turned 65, and I knew nothing about Medicare. He knew less about it. And we went to the Adult Community Center and talked to a Shine counselor and found the right insurance for him. And I would, just tell everybody that it was a much easier process to understand what we needed and the plans that were out there, because they're very confusing. There's so many of them, between Advantage and regular Medicare and Part A and B's, and there's donut holes. And I thought those were like munchkins.
It's very confusing. And we deal in a lot of acronyms. So Shine is serving the health insurance needs of everyone. But it just, it helps you navigate all that. Some people have done that and they've been, they've put the framework in place a long time ago, but then they come back for another visit and they find out that they, have prescription discounts that they can get, or, maybe their situation has changed a little bit financially and they're in a different bracket, and we can certainly revisit those things as well. So it's always good to keep an eye on it.
That's fantastic. And they could just call the Adult Community Center and set up an appointment during the open enrollment. And then any of these other resources, just give you a call, right?
Yeah, we have Shine counselors on staff, as well as a number of volunteers from the region that are just gurus with that kind of thing. So we're happy to help.
Fantastic. As older adults begin to age in place, some family members are taking on the role of caregiver. How can the Adult Community Center help caregivers cope with added responsibilities and the stress that may accompany that role? We know that, what do we call it, the sandwich generation. We still have kids at home, but we also now have mom and dad, or mom or dad at home as well. The amount of stress and scheduling that has to happen with that. And sometimes there's additional supports that they might need around Alzheimer's or dementia. How does the Council on Aging and the Adult Community Center kind of wrap that person into those supports?
So the framework that's been set up for the respite and caregiver programs is really wonderful. We have different programs at our center, for respite if someone wants to come in with their loved one or have their loved one come in and have some vibrant programming while they get a little break. We've reached out to the libraries, so all of the 7 libraries throughout the villages also have, some of those programs are filtered through on a monthly basis, as well as outreach offered there. So we're just really trying to help those families and their unique situations, and we have lots of programs and information for that. And so that's another call. And it's nice to see that still continuing. It's a very important part of what we do. And we will continue to build on that. So, yeah.
Right. Talk a little bit about respite. So does that mean that the individual comes to the adult community center and the caregiver can get some time for grocery shopping or maybe have their nails done or something like that?
Yeah. We have some great programs, music and movement, and different enrichment classes geared towards people with memory impairment, so that, like you said, their loved one can do what they need to do, whether it's downtime or errands, or just know that they're getting that enrichment that, they don't have to provide for a little while. And that break means a lot to those caregivers, for sure.
It really does. And as we talk about, sandwich generation and intergenerational programs can unite generations in ways that enrich participants' lives and help address vital social and community issues while building on the positive resources that young and old have to offer each other and to their communities. Tell us about some of the intergenerational activities at the Barnstable Adult Community Center and the benefits to our community.
Well, it's really wonderful to see. There's a 7th grade class that's been coming over with programming and enrichment, and that was one of the first things that happened, like my first month in, and it was just so wonderful to see. The kids came over and did a presentation. We had older adults there, and then there was a Q&A back and forth, and just talking about, the relevant issues that they could connect with, and it was just lovely to see. We've had the Key Club come over, and they did some rapping during the holidays for our older adults, and we really want to build on that. There's so many different opportunities there, and that's something that we just want to keep plugging that in, because there's so much to offer each other. Right. And as well as being in community services, having the youth center, and the different opportunities that we have uniquely to blend there.
Right.
So I really look forward to offering more of that, but it's been definitely a big part of the Barnstable Adult Community Center for long before me.
Yeah, I know there's been several different programs out there and events. Channel 18 actually went out and did intergenerational interviews about 3 years ago, just before COVID. And we had the opportunity to pair a high school junior with one of our older adults in the community, and they interviewed the older adults. And the content of that, it's on our YouTube channel, you can find it there, was absolutely amazing. The kids learned so much. Yeah. And I have to tell you, when you get an older adult that can start to tell a story from the past, just to either relate something that's so different or to teach a little bit too.
Exactly. I love that. We'll have to talk after. I'd love to duplicate that, because, you said 3 years ago. I think we're due, because it's wonderful.
Excellent. The back is vibrant and engaging community asset. You need volunteers. How do people get involved? I mean, this is like a great spot. If you're not quite ready to go and do programming, there's other things that you can do. I'm coining the new phrase active agers. So if you feel like you want to get involved at the Barnstable Adult Community Center, how does that happen?
There's lots of ways, and the first is to call us and reach out. We have Meals on Wheels volunteers that deliver meals. There's over 200 meals that go out of our kitchen every day with the help of elder services volunteers from the center. So that's one opportunity. As I mentioned, Shine, those counselors are, there's a training that's involved, but those are volunteers. And then, of course, we have Barnstable Neighbor to Neighbor, who is doing a lot of great work, and, we send a lot of referrals that way. Right. And then, as far as in the center, when we have events or when there are times when we have a pretty good sized staff right now, we're fully staffed. But when we have a big event and we have a lot of people in, it's wonderful to have people to tap into that want to come in and help out. So there are a lot of unique ways, and just calling us so that we can find out what they're looking for and how they want to engage. We also have a new program coming up, the Discovery Center. It's sort of geared around finding your purpose, and if you want to be involved with civic engagement and volunteer opportunities, either through our center or they will be able to help like throughout the region. If there are other boards and commissions in town that need people, we'll have like a mentor program, and then we'll try to identify what people want to help with and help direct them. So I'm really looking forward to that. It's starting with a lecture series, and then we're trying to identify what they call transition navigators, which is like a mentor for finding your purpose and your encore, they call it.
Your encore. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm close to that. As we wrap up a little bit, any last things that you would like to say before we hit our rapid fire questions to our residents, or sometimes residents who may become residents? We had second homeowners actually move here during COVID. What do you want them to know specifically about the center?
Well, the center is, as you said, a vibrant place. It's a great atmosphere. My staff is so into what they do, and it's just a happy place. We want you to come in. We want you to try things out. Let us know. Give us feedback. We now have a suggestion box as well. And like I said, it's a social care hub. So, whether it's a social aspect or you need referrals or just information, we just want people to come in. And there's a lot of people out there that have not come in or have not come in, have not come in recently or have not come in at all. We want to reach them. We want them to come in and see what it's all about. And that's really, one of our biggest goals this year, is to just reach as many people as we can to come in and bring back the people that maybe have a little resistance or just haven't got out of that routine of being home, from COVID, and just re-engage with us and the public.
That's fantastic. It was wonderful to have you. So are you ready for your rapid fire questions?
I am.
Okay. What's your favorite time of the day?
My favorite time of the day would have to be from sunset to the evening. I love, stargazing and just the colors in the sky when we do have the sun. I know it feels a little Seattle-ish lately, but that's definitely my favorite time of day.
Fantastic. And what was your first, this is my favorite question. What was your first concert?
My first concert was Billy Squier.
No kidding.
Yes, I took my brother for his birthday, who was a little older than me, and that's how I got to go. But it was fun.
That was wild. And you're a newer resident to Barnstable. I'm always curious when people first move here. You've been here almost a year now. What's your favorite spot in Barnstable?
Besides the Adult Community Center,
right?
I would have to say Sandy Neck. It's just my favorite beach, and just a lot of good memories there. And it's a lovely place to go. There's so many beautiful places here. It is hard to pick. And the more I see here, the more I fall in love with it.
That's fantastic. Well, thanks for spending time with us and listening to Discover Barnstable, the official podcast of the town of Barnstable. We hope you found a new understanding of how your municipal government works to protect, engage, and enact for you and our community. Be sure to drop us a line at podcast@town.barnstable.ma.us and let us know what you would like to learn next. Till next time, go discover Barnstable.